From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
Hello and welcome. This is News Hour. I'm Zainab Bala. The headlines. Gunmen attack communities in Niger State, killing many people. Tramadol consignment from Pakistan intercepted at Lagos Airport. Banditry and its consequences turn many to beggars in Katsina. And Ukraine announced talk without preconditions with Russia. Hello and welcome. Now, bandits have killed many people, including a father and his son, in separate attacks in Mashegu, Lavun, and Wushishi local government areas of Niger State, with many residents displaced in the attacks which occurred between Friday and Saturday. The media aides to Mashegu Local Council Chairperson Muhammad Isa, who confirmed the attack, said the Chief of Staff to the Council Chairperson, Umar Ubegi, and his father were among those killed during the attack. Residents said in Mashegu local government area, the villages attacked were Sahorami, Igbede, Chikaku, Ubegi, Meshinkafi, and Poshi, killing the village head of Poshi community as well as 7 others in Sahorami and Meshinkafi. Reports say the bandits moved from one village to the other on motorcycles, killing and abducting people, and also rustled cows belonging to villagers, while about 13 communities were sacked, while in Lavon Council area, 10 villages were reportedly attacked, leaving at least 3 persons dead, while 3 others were kidnapped. The villages attacked in Lavon local government area were Egbaku, Daban, Kupa, Ndaruka, Sogi, Maugi, Yemi, Managi, and Kanko and Gogaga. The latest attack in the state followed that of Shiro local government area, where 4 officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps were killed by suspected Boko Haram terrorists at Galadima Kogo community using explosives. Meanwhile, about 8 worshippers have been abducted by terrorists while attending a church service at Salama Baptist Church in a village called Gidigori in Rafi local government area of Niger State. Reports say the incident occurred on Sunday, adding that the pastor of the church is among the abductee. The church is near Birnungwari in Kaduna State. Similarly, at least 8 persons were killed in attacks by Islamic State in West Africa province ISWAP insurgents in the local government area of Borno State. According to reports by the cable, the insurgents invaded Madara, Girau, and Guma villages on Saturday night and killed 8 residents and wounded a number of persons. Earlier, the military said troops had thwarted an attack by ISWAP terrorists along Mandagarago Road in the early hours of Saturday while on a long-range patrol in the general area after intercepting communication of the terrorist on a mission to plant improvised explosive devices on the routes and attack a military base. Meanwhile, the troops repelled an attack by another ISWAP group in Konduga local government area when the insurgents attempted to attack a military formation along Bama Road, however, met a stiff resilience by the troops in the location. Bama residents have expressed fear to return to their farmland since their resettlement after a gradual return of peace to the community ravaged by Boko Haram insurgency. The residents say they feel vulnerable outside of the town, that they may be attacked by Boko Haram if they venture out to the farms. Bama is among the many communities captured and controlled by terrorists during the campaign of Boko Haram. Our reporter visits Bama to see what lives look like to the resettled community.
Bama town looks busy today. It's free flow of traffic. Residents, as usual, attend to their legitimate activity for the day. Many years ago, these streets were ghost to itself, and the town suffered attacks of Boko Haram, leaving massive destructions and many displaced. For the resettled residents, it's good being home again, but they are afraid to return to their farmlands.
People are very, very okay now. People are trooping in. The marketplace is very okay. The transport area is very busy, as you can see. And Bama is waking up. Good time. The intervention we need from government now is to just look at the people here that are in it, to give them a very good response pertaining their living condition.
Why we haven't returned to the farm is because it's not safe. These terrorists are still loitering in the bush. That's what is hindering us from farming, and commodities are very expensive in the market. Like before, a mudu of maize is sold at 150 naira, but now it's 700 naira. If government will still help us clear these people, we will be happy.
Muna so a bamu abinci ne gaskiya abinci da a bamu abinci muna da yara kuma da karatu muna da.
We want them to give us food. Honestly, that's what we need. We have children who are studying and the little ones are not in school. One of them have not finished his NCE because he can't study without eating. Since the return to the palace, the Shehu of Bama discovered that about 8,000 children were out of school. Umar ibn el-Kanami is dismayed that with the destroyed learning facilities, the children may be soft targets for terrorists.
We have identified about 8,000 school out of children, and that is the official figure. That's the ones we are able to identify, but this number is much more higher than this. My fear is, before the advent of Boko Haram, when schools were everywhere, you can find school in every village, but yet Boko Haram were able to, in succeeding by, recruiting these children into their sect. So now that schools are not everywhere, those children were sitting idle. It will become very easy for them to, put them back to their sect. So for this reason alone, we need to do more, even more than before.
With normalcy restored to Bama local government, many hope that those who are yet to resettle will do so and help restore the town to its full glory.
Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, has enjoined personnel to develop spirit of professionalism in accomplishing assigned mission within a joint environment in defense of Nigeria. General Yahya said this during the closing ceremony of the first Chief of Army Staff Combat Platoon Across Country Championship 2022. The report.
Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, represented by the Corps Commander of the Signal of the Nigerian Army, Major General Abiodun Owolabi, said it is pertinent for personnel to step up all aspects of combat readiness in line with global best practices. General Owolabi explained that this will effectively assist them to confront contemporary adversaries and carry along other personnel in the platoon. He added that the championship will go a long way in refocusing the prospects of Nigerian Army personnel towards capacity building.
Let me urge you all to note the objectives of this championship, which, among others, include improvements in your combat proficiency, leadership skills, organizational ability, fitness and endurance, teamwork, and above all, esprit de corps. You must ensure they come to bear in your daily affairs as soldiers. All hands must be on deck, therefore, to employ these attributes to uplift the Nigerian Army to greater heights.
Speaking on the security situation in the country, Major General Owolabi urged everyone to be more security conscious and support security agencies in the area of dissemination of information. The chairman of Local Organizing Committee, Brigadier General Ernest Orakwe, stated that the competition is designed to strengthen troops' endurance to enable them thrive in the current difficult operating environment.
We must therefore all be security conscious and alert while we perform our duties. In any competition, there must be a winner and a loser. For the winning formation, I once again say a big congratulations to you. And to the losing team, I want to encourage you to go back to the drawing board and make adequate preparation in order to excel during the remaining training activities lined up in the 2022 training cycle.
I'm sincerely constrained to also extend our thanks to you for your show of professionalism, esprit de corps, and sportsman spirit throughout the competition. You all approached the competition with zeal that is required without bitterness and rancor, bearing in mind the key objective of the exercise, which is training. Indeed, this exemplary show of maturity assisted greatly in the success story we are witnessing today. I therefore wish to thank you all.
Correspondent reports that highlight of the event include presentation of trophies to the overall winner, the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, and 2 Division, which are marked 2nd and 6th Division in 3rd position.
Still ahead, a train from Lagos to Kano has derailed within Jeba area in Niger State on Saturday with no record of casualty. The Managing Director, Nigerian Railway Corporation, Fidet Okiria, confirmed the incident in a phone conversation with AIT Live, following the emergence of a video showing the fallen coaches and damaged rail tracks. He, however, said only the luggage vans at the rear were involved in the mishap, adding that other parts of the train conveying passengers continued the journey after the mishap. Meanwhile, the cause of the incident is yet to be ascertained, but the corporation says it is hoping to fix the damaged portions of the rail tracks in a few days. The Lagos-Kano Railway is a monorail line renovated for conveyance of passengers and goods by the current administration. And now to election matters. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has announced Omar Diorogu Okani of the All Progressive Congress as the winner of Saturday's Imo State Assembly by-election in Ngokbala constituency of Imo State. The returning officer, Ameako, announced the results at Omunike, the council headquarters of Ngokbala local government area, on Sunday morning. The election results were published, displayed, and transmitted electronically using Form EC60E and EC8A through the INEC portal. Amen, who is a professor of drama and critical theory from Alex Ekweme Federal University, Ndufu-Alike, Ebonyi State, said the APC candidate got over 9,000 to defeat Jeff Nwachukwu of the People's Democratic Party, who polled 7,071 votes, while the total registered voters across the 11 existing electoral wards in the area has 94,060. Now, 11 political parties took part in that election. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has alleged massive rigging and other malpractices in Saturday's by-election for Ngokbala State constituency election. The state party chairman, Charles Ugu, in a statement reacting to the election, alleged that the ruling APC manipulated the process to prevent the people from exercising their constitutional mandate. Further alleging that on the eve of the election, the ruling party mobilized truckloads of security agencies and armed thugs to unleash mayhem on the electorate. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission had announced the APC candidate Blidin Omar Diorogu as the winner of the election. Independent National Electoral Commission has declared candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Musa Aga, as the winner of Saturday's by-election for Jos North Bassa Federal constituency of Plateau State. The by-election is to replace late Haruna Maitala, who died last year with his son and 2 aides in an auto crash along Abuja-Jos Road. Declaring the result on Sunday, INEC's returning officer Yinka Oyewinde said the PDP candidate Musa Aga scored a total of 40,343 votes to defeat his closet challenger Muhammad Adam Al-Ghali of the People's Redemption Party, who scored a total of 37,757, while Abeyaku of the All Progressive Congress polled 26,111. Dixon Adama sends in this report.
There's so much talked about and anticipated by-election for Jos North and Bassa local government area of Plateau State has come and gone. The election took place yesterday and a winner has been announced today by INEC. PDP took the day and PRP came second, then APC came third. The intrigue in all of this is that PRP sprang from nowhere and came second. But prior to the election, there were anticipation that probably there was going to be crisis, because usually elections are the triggers of crisis in Jos and Plateau State. But There was nothing since the announcement of result this morning. Everywhere has been peaceful. People have been going about their normal businesses. And Trust TV as well went round and found out that everywhere has been peaceful. And Trust TV will still monitor the reaction that will follow the emergence of the winner, as well as try to reach out to all the other contestants to know their next line of action. Dixon Adama, Trust TV News, Jos.
There you go. Now, People's Democratic Party chieftain and a former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, meets former President Olusegun Obasanjo in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Atiku Abubakar had a closed-door meeting with the former president, and the outcome of the meeting is not disclosed to journalists. But political observers say it may not be unconnected to the next year general elections and his ambition to get the presidential ticket of his party. Eniola Mayowa reports.
While responding to questions from journalists shortly after the meeting, the former vice president expressed confidence that he will get 6 of his party as the presidential candidate.
It's a visit to my boss.
When are you declaring, sir? The world is waiting for your declaration. When are you declaring?
We will let you know now. We will give a formal announcement.
Are you confident that you are going to get a ticket for your party?
Have I ever failed to get the ticket?
Yes. No, this time around, I want to know. Maybe you are so confident.
I'm confident. I'm confident.
Sir, they are talking about age. That you are the elderly people should allow youth to take over. What do you say to that?
Let the youth compete now. It's competition. It's democracy.
The former vice president also visited the Alake and paramount ruler, the Egbaland, and the traditional council at the Ake Palace in Abeokuta. Eniola Mayowa, Trust TV, Abeokuta.
Signing of the Electoral Amendment Bill into law and release of elections timetables by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, continue to elicit reactions from Nigerians. Some electoral stakeholders in Bauchi State say early preparation will bring sanity and hope to Nigerians. Adamu Ima reports.
Barely 24 hours after President Muhammadu Buhari signed the long-awaited electoral bill that many Nigerians are expecting to change the political atmosphere and the conduct of the election process in the country. Some of the concerned electorates have aired their views on the matter.
Was it yesterday or so? Yeah. It was a very good one actually, and it's very, very important because the time frame, it's a little bit long because we have all the electorates and all the political parties, they have an ample time to sit down and digest whatever it is necessary because of the time frame. Because if Adibin INEC draw the whole program very close, I believe it will have been something else. So given by the nature of what the political activities is in Africa, particularly Nigeria, is a very important thing because our people always need time. Actually, the signing of Mr. President is a very important one. You know, a lot of people have different misconceptions. They have their own ideas, they have their own thinking towards each and every particular thing that Mr. President has done, especially the opposition. But it is a very, very important thing he has done because when you just look at what Mr. President did, he's always doing it so that it will favor the masses. But most of these things, they will not understand at this point in time. But when maybe in the nearest future, people will come to understand that it is the Mr. President has already done a very good impact and it's a very good one.
Meanwhile, they also maintain that Nigerians representative at the National Assembly should look at the area Mr. President urged them to make some amendments without any further delay in the interests of the whole Nigerians.
For the INEC by Professor Mahmoud is a welcome development actually. It has boosted the morale of the electorate, or I can say the political elite, so that they can speed up in their primary elections and convention, because most of them are waiting for that timetable to be out. Since now the timetable is out, they are actually, he has boosted their morale so that they can
prepare so early, the earlier the better. Now you can see that the political people have started campaigning for their various political posts or seats so that they can be elected in the next coming general election.
Nigeria has already get what we call real democracy, because without this, things will be going just anyhow. As INEC bring out this timetable, it really shows that they are working well, and this administration, they are ready to just make things in order. So, as this timetable is out, I'm happy, and this will just make those politicians to just be, on their feet to do what they're supposed to do, because of the election has not, been postponed as they were thinking. As INEC brings out this timetable, I'm very happy with it.
According to them, it is now left for political parties to do what is expected of them, to bring out a credible candidate through internal democracy that is rancor-free, so that Nigerian democracy will move forward. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now let's head to Katsina, where begging for arms is turning into business and some northern states facing insecurity. The activities of bandits and terrorists have sacked many farming communities, subjecting innocent people to untold hardship, with many resorting to begging. Many children and businesswomen are now homeless, begging for food to keep body and soul together. Abdullahi Ahmadi has the details of this report.
In Katsina State, there is no official camp for the internally displaced persons to cater for the shelter, food or schools for their children. This group of people are seen almost on every street, premises of restaurants, filling stations, and even financial institutions armed with plastic plates begging for alms. In recent times, begging was practiced by people living with disabilities, vulnerable women and children, among others. Another group is that of Al-Majris, a system which was meant to inculcate Islamic virtues in the youth, but degenerated into a practice characterized by unwholesome and inhuman activities. The most worrisome part of begging practice is engaging school-aged children who are supposed to be in schools to acquire both Islamic and Western education for self-reliance. These desperate women and children say begging for what to eat remain their daily hustle, with the hope that one day they will return to their ancestral homes when peace is restored. We are only here to beg for what to eat. We have been displaced. We don't have anything to eat. We didn't bring anything along to eat. And therefore we must beg for what to eat. I was a large-scale farmer, and I was engaged in animal husbandry. But unfortunately, as a result of this insecurity, I abandoned everything in the village. I'm here in the city to beg for what to eat. I have 2 wives and some children. You see, there's nothing I can do. Malam Rufai Ahmad sheds light on how Islam views begging. Islam does not encourage begging. It encourages self-reliance. As such, most of the people begging are not practicing begging because they are practicing it following teachings of Islam. No, it's un-Islamic. It is un-Islamic. So people should be self-reliant. Some public commentators looked at the practice beyond the economic perspective, and they attributed it to the failure in family and societal values, where many abandoned their responsibilities, either as parents or as leaders. This situation calls for immediate response from political actors, not just about policy formulation, but also by introducing implementable poverty alleviation programs that can take these beggars off the streets and allow their children go back to schools. This will go side by side with removing the economic barriers on education, health, and other important sectors to provide equal opportunity to the poor and other vulnerable groups access to healthcare delivery and education, thereby bridging the wide gap between the rich and the poor. Experts say this practice of begging, if left unchecked, will continue to hamper government's commitment to ensure education for all and put more pressure on the already fragile peace being enjoyed by people in some parts of Katsina State. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intercepted at least 649,300 capsules of tramadol and 809,850 euros cash as parts of consignments from Pakistan, Austria and Italy at the Murtada Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. The spokesperson of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, who confirmed this in a statement, said at the Skyway Aviation Handling Company cargo warehouse at the airport, anti-narcotic officers seized 649,300 capsules of tramadol, weighing 225 milligrams, and imported from Pakistan via Addis Ababa through Ethiopian Airline on Wednesday, February 16th. He said also the anti-narcotic agents also intercepted various quantities of heroin and other illicit drugs, which were blocked from being exported to the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada, and arrested a suspect, Nwadu Christian, who was arrested in connection with the seizure. Similarly, NDLEA arrested a female passenger, Ayeki Happy, who arrived at the airport from Italy on Turkish airline flight with over 800,000 euros cash concealed in her luggage. 4 days after the operatives arrested another lady, Precious Idalbo, with 640,000 euros cash hidden in her luggage and undeclared upon her arrival at the airport from Vienna, Austria, via Istanbul, Turkey. Now let's join Femi Babafemi. He's NDLEA's Director, Media and Advocacy, and he joins us to discuss this recent seizure. Hello, Babafemi.
Hello, good evening. Thanks for having me on your news hour.
Join us on the program. Now, could you talk to us, about how this recent seizure came about?
Yeah, I normally, the new NDLEA operation basically is intelligence-based. Beyond intelligence, we also have officers and men who know their job at the various commands where we have some of our operational activities carried out. And in the case of the seizures in Lagos, especially at the Murtada Mohammed International Airport, we had a consignment of tramadol 225 mg came in from Pakistan, and through the eagle eyes of our men, they were able to detect that and seized the consignment, which where we have over 600,000 capsules of the illicit drug or pharmaceutical opioid. Beyond that, we also had the seizure of cash. I'm talking of euros in thousands now. The first seizure was actually on the 12th of February at the airport, where a lady, Precious Idahagbon, came in with 740,000 euro cash, raw cash. Again, through the eagle eyes of our men, we were able to intercept that, seize that, and 4 days after, that was on the 16th of February, another lady came in from Italy, that Yaki Happy came in with over 69,000 euro again. So these two cash seizures are being investigated at the moment by the agency to see if indeed they are process of drug business. And if that is the case, then first we'll seek the forfeiture of the funds to the federal government of Nigeria, and thereafter prosecute the suspects in custody But beyond that, we also had seizures across the country, in Kano, in Adamawa, Abuja here. We had seizures of various quantities of illicit substances ranging from cannabis to tramadol and what have you. Beyond that, we also have some seizures again at a major courier company in Lagos. These were seizures of drugs that were meant to be exported to the US, to the UK, UAE, that's Dubai, as well as Canada. All of these were able to block from going outside the country.
Every week, your agency will announce arrest or interception of drugs from traffickers. Now, it looks like instead of recording decline in trafficking, it seems drug pushers will not give up, devising means of beating your men. Why do we keep seeing, repeated means of trafficking, as time goes on?
One, let me tell you the implication of this is basically you have defiant people, you have people who are desperate and are ready to make money through this illegal or criminal business. But then the good thing is they are not finding it funny, they are not finding it easy, they are losing seriously. If you check across the country now, all the prices of all of these drugs have gone high, have hit the rooftop because we are making sure that they are not available. We are blocking access and availability of these drugs. That is one key gain because it will get to a point, even if it's ever available at all, it will be totally out of reach, or those who may want to take them will not be able to afford them. That is one thing. Now, for these people, because they keep losing, so they will want to try more to see if they could, if they will be able to pull through and recover their past losses. So that's why you are seeing them becoming more desperate, becoming more vicious. And you would have seen what happened in Lagos at the weekend. That was on Saturday, yesterday, where members of the drug cartel there on the island mobilized to attack our men because they are already feeling the heat of our operations. They are already getting uncomfortable that we're not allowing them to do their business. It's no longer business as usual. So these are all implications of what we're doing, because for us, a kilogram we seize is a kilogram, or even a gram of what we seize is a gram less what is available on the street. Just imagine the past 12 months, that's the January to December 2021, we took away from the streets, from the communities, over 3.4 million kilograms of assorted illicit drugs. Imagine what that would have done in our society. But then we're able to take that away. So we continue. It's not a day journey. So we continue to do that, making sure that we block access and availability to these drugs, and ultimately we believe that we'll be able to take them off the streets, no matter how defiant and desperate the members of the cartel may become.
Okay, now quickly before we go, one hardly hears of prosecution, after arrest. Should we look forward to hearing, conviction of high-profile, drug cartel?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm sure we actually, like in Lagos yesterday, we went for 3 major drug barons. We were able to get one, the woman. 2 others escaped after they mobilized the hoodlums to attack our men. But because our men didn't want an escalation that would result into casualties, because it's a very busy area, so they had to step back. And you would have seen also, we've been recording, we have 90% prosecution success rate in the courts. Last year alone, we recorded about 1,400 convictions in the courts, and we're still having about 1,502 other cases pending in the courts. And we hope this year will be great if the calendar of the judiciary will run smoothly without hitches like we had last year. But we believe that definitely we're bringing to book all of these people, and we've been having convictions. It's most likely because the media, they are not reported by the media the way they report arrests and seizures, but we're having convictions in the courts.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on News Hour tonight. Femi Babafemi, he's NDLA's Director, Media and Advocacy, and we hope to have him next time. Now, watching News Hour on Trust Television coming up. Combat ready against rapists. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19 or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus spreads more easily indoors and in crowded settings. Maintain a safe distance from others at least 2 meters even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. Get vaccinated. Properly fitted masks can help prevent the spread of the virus from the person wearing the mask to others. Masks alone do not protect against COVID-19 and should be combined with physical distancing and hand hygiene. Protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. This message is brought to you by Trust TV.
Welcome back. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Our top stories. Bandits have killed many people, including a father and his son, in separate attacks in Mashegu, Lavun, and Wushishi local government areas of Niger State. NDLEA intercepted at least 649,300 capsules of tramadol and 809,850 euros cash as part of consignments from Pakistan, Austria and Italy at the Murtada Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. Nigeria on Saturday recorded 40 coronavirus infections across 3 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The latest update released by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control on Sunday morning shows that the new confirmed cases have increased the country's infections to over 200,000. The disease center stated that the country's death toll still stands at 3,142 as no fatality has been recorded since February 18th, when it last reported a fatality case. NCDC also noted that a total of over 200,000 people have been successfully treated and discharged nationwide. COVID-19 pandemic has necessitated massive consumption of personal protective equipment worldwide. Single-use face mask is one of the most used PPE to prevent the transmission of the virus, but disposal of such COVID-19 waste and its management threaten the environment with a new form of plastic pollution. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu surveys the disposal of face masks and how it could possibly lead to environmental disaster.
The need to stem the tide of the COVID-19 pandemic with single-use face masks have been the emblems of the pandemic era. These plastic-based coverings have also been an environmental disaster in the making. Face masks are the most widely used undiscarded personal protective equipment.
Sometimes if I put it on, if I'm in my car, I remove them. So if I want to dispose it, sometimes it will be on my car. When I compile them, I dispose them inside the dustbin. So that is what I do. And there's an experience I had. I saw one guy, walking around looking for it. picking them one after the other. Immediately it just came to my mind, what are these guys using it for? Is it that they are, washing them, pressing them, and then selling it to us again? So from them, I've been careful of me, anytime I want to buy it, I'll make sure I check it very well. Or either I buy it in a pharmacy, or maybe some of them I'll look them to verify first before getting it.
Don't dispose my nose masks, I misplace them. And I can't put a figure to the numbers of nose masks I use in a day. If peradventure I'm going to a place and I see I would need a nose mask, if I don't have a nose mask in my car, then it means I will need to get a nose mask. And if I misplace that and I need to access a place that needs a nose mask, it means I will have to get another one. So there is I can't put a figure to the amount or the quantity of nose masks that I use in a day. And disposing them, as I said earlier on, I can't recall disposing a nose mask personally, but I know for sure that I do misplace nose masks. I usually buy them close to areas where I need to use them. There are usually these boys that sell nose masks around there, and it's easier to get it from the streets. For me anyway.
For me, I would say I don't have a specific time. Just as soon as I know that it's ready to be replaced, I do take it off and then get a new one. I know some people that use it once a day and then they just take it off because of certain precautions. So speaking for myself, maybe once in 3 weeks, once in 2 weeks, I can't really tell, but I can give you that range. Usually the way I dispose every other thing that needs to be disposed, in the waste bin, I do it properly, and I make sure that every other thing, including the nose mask, goes to its proper place. Any form of material can be used as a nose mask. So far it is good enough, like a cloth. This prevents the virus from getting into the nostrils when you're inhaling. So I would say material-wise, I cannot tell. I just know that as long as it is new, it is kept neatly in a bag or in a plastic container, then it can be used, as long as you know that it has not been tampered with, just like any other product.
Normally I use 2-3 in a day. Like this one is the third one I'm using, because it's not hygienic. Once it got wet, maybe any other thing, I dispose that. I normally buy pack. In a day, the minimum I use or the maximum I use is 3 pairs. Most time I burnt them because I have normally I burnt them because my waste is meant to be burnt.
Yusuf Abdullahi, a waste management expert, warns that face masks are potentially infectious materials and their disposals should not be mixed with non-hazardous waste materials.
Medical waste should not actually be mixed with trash. But in this country, in most countries, in most cities, rather, in Nigeria, you find out that both healthcare waste, that is waste that are potentially infectious, such as the mask, they are usually combined with trash and they are disposed together in an open dump. Yes, the best practice is that you put it in a separate bag. In an ideal situation, in every office or in every house, you will have a bin. Now that bin, usually colored green, is for non-hazardous waste or low-risk household or domestic trash. So these face masks, there should be a separate bag where you keep it, just like your sanitary pad, just like your Pampers. So it's the same way that you need to put things that are potentially infectious in a separate bag and you tie them. Usually they are colored red to indicate that they are hazardous.
He further called on the domesticated environmental health officers to enlighten the public on the best practices of waste disposal to reduce the potential spread of secondary diseases in the communities.
It's important for local governments, those that are constitutionally saddled with the responsibility of managing urban waste, and healthcare practitioners, and more importantly, citizens and communities to be aware of the risk associated with the face masks and ensure that these face masks are disposed of responsibly.
Measures such as development of hazardous waste disposal procedures, storage protocols for hazardous materials, and development of recycling programs, according to experts, will help mitigate face mask waste that can now be found everywhere. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
There you go. Every girl and boy deserve to grow up free from harm, yet gender-based violence continues, effectively ending their childhoods and risking their futures. While both girls and boys are negatively impacted, girls are particularly vulnerable. Child Dream Initiative is teaching young girls martial arts and how to be confident in speech as a form of defense against abuse.
Currently, the one we're doing now is ability for them to have themselves secured in the face of this menace that is going on now, which is child rape. Every minute, you keep on hearing a child is raped or molested, basically because they came from the area where there are some basic things that they are supposed to know, which they didn't know, which number one, I think, is self-defense. Every child needs to protect his or herself. And you know what happens when around you see children that are not well secured? What will happen to them when every minute you see somebody taking advantage of them? Like the one that happened recently in our area. A child of 9 was raped. And this happened because the child doesn't have voice to speak out for herself. Had it been the child has passed through these trainings, one thing we used to tell them in this particular training is this: no matter what happens, the first thing or the first weapon you have is your voice. Once you shout, give or take, one or two persons will come out and either assist them or try to stop the act. But when children see it as if they don't have anything to do when they are in such kind of situation, it now becomes a problem to our society. What we're trying to tell everybody now is, if you have any way you can register your child for a martial art class, it is a welcome idea.
In the course of our discussion, the creator of Child Dream Initiative made mention of a girl whom he is particularly proud of. He showed me this, and I got chills down my spine.
I'm afraid that one day someone will wake me up and tell me I'm no longer in Nigeria. Come to think about it. Do you think I would like to watch this nation fall? Do you really think I would like to watch this nation fall in the hole of self-hate, shame and reproach? This is just a crime of a Nigerian child.
But with a smile on the face, the professor asked, "How heavy is this glass I'm holding?" Students shouted out answers ranging from 8 ounces to a couple of pounds.
I would love to talk to you all about this dance called life.
I'm here to meet Ella, who is a beneficiary of Child Dream Initiative.
This is 11-year-old Ella. She got enrolled into Child Dream Initiative by accident. The creator got to her at a time her parents were finding difficulty paying her school fees. He took it upon himself as a service to humanity.
Hello, my name is Emanuela John. I'm a proud beneficiary from the Child Dream Initiative. I'm actually passionate about public speaking and I love motivating people. And I want to be a lawyer. In some societies, in some societies, you see, they don't take girls the way they take boys. Like, for example, if they want to take, if a father has a male and a boy and a girl, the father will prefer sending the boy to school than sending the girl to school because he thinks that the girl is actually going to end up in the kitchen and there's no need for him paying her school fees and getting her educated or stuff like that. But I think that the girls have equal rights to the boys and should not be treated that way because the girls have potentials that even boys don't have, because what a boy can do, a woman can do better. There's this program that has actually been set up by our coach for a martial act for the girl child to be able to defend themselves and be confident to speak in public. The program is really nice and mostly is about the girls being confident about themselves and not be able to fear, because they're actually, people take advantage of them and they tend to have less courage of themselves. They underestimate themselves. So the martial act is just like an organization, or rather is it a club or something that helps them to build confidence and believe in themselves.
Ella showed me some moves she had learned in the martial art class. According to findings by a national survey on violence against children published by the National Population Commission and UNICEF, violence against children is a pervasive problem in Nigeria, with 6 out of every 10 children in the country suffering one or more forms of physical, sexual, or emotional violence before they reach 18.
There you go, martial arts for defense. Still ahead, at least 6 persons were killed and 6 others sustained various degrees of injuries in a lone vehicular accident around the Obasanjo Farms area of the Ugeli and Asaba Expressway in Delta State. Commander of Federal Road Safety Corps, Ibrahim Abubakar, who confirmed the incident and advised motorists against overspeeding. 4 of the victims of the accident, which involved a Toyota bus, died on the spot, while the other 2 gave up ghosts at the hospital they were rushed to. Reports say 18 passengers were in the vehicle, returning to Warri from Anambra State, where they attended a burial ceremony when they experienced vehicle somersault several times after a tire burst, resulting to the driver losing control. According to reports, the injured victims were taken to the General Hospital in Ogwashiuku, from where they were moved to the Federal Medical Center, Asaba, for further medical attention. And now in business, Nigerian Communications Commission's Computer Security Incident Response Team has discovered a newly hatched malicious software that steals users' banking app login credentials on Android devices. According to a security advisory from the NCC, the malicious software called Xenomorph, found to target 56 financial institutions from Europe, has high impact and high vulnerability rate. The Commission advised telecom consumers to be on alert not to fall victim to the manipulation, and also urged telecom consumers and other internet users, particularly those using Android-powered devices, to use trusted antivirus solutions and update them regularly to their latest definitions. The main intent of the malware is to steal credentials combined with the use of SMS and notification interception to log in and use potential 2-factor authentication tokens. Xenomorph is propagated by an application that is slipped into Google Play Store and masquerading as a legitimate application called Fast Cleaner, ostensibly meant to clean junk, increase device speed, and optimize battery, while in reality, the app is only a means by which the Xenomorph Trojan could be propagated easily and efficiently. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, says the federal government is coordinating with foreign missions both in Russia and Ukraine to evacuate Nigerians from Ukraine back home for safety. The minister stated this in an update on his Twitter handle on Sunday, following the invasion of Ukraine by Russian troops. Aside from Russia and Ukraine, Onyema said the government is also coordinating with Nigerians' foreign missions in Poland, Romania and Hungary to evacuate Nigerians and ensure the safety of those who choose to stay back in Ukraine. He expressed concern at the news of Ukrainian border guards hindering the exit of Nigerian citizens, following assertion that Ukrainian border guards have been instructed to allow all foreigners to leave. While condemnation against Russian invasion of Ukraine gets approval from host international communities, same cannot be extended to its neighbor Poland. A Nigerian scholar in United Kingdom, Bulama Bukati, tweets how blacks are segregated against at the Polish border, where both Ukrainians and others run to for safety. In a viral video, some stranded Nigerians corroborate allegation of racial segregation.
this is
And the foreign scene, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Kiev has agreed to send a delegation for talks without preconditions with Russian officials on the Ukraine-Belarus border. Zelensky stated this in a statement after holding a phone call with an ally of Russia's President Vladimir Putin, Lukashenko. According to the statement, Ukrainian delegation would meet with the Russian delegation without preconditions on the Ukrainian-Belarusian border near the Pripyat River, but did not give a precise time for the meeting, but said Lukashenko has taken responsibility for ensuring that all planes, helicopters and missiles stationed on Belarusian territory remain on the ground during the Ukrainian delegation's travel, talks and return. Earlier, Putin has ordered his military command to put Russia's deterrence forces, a reference to units which include nuclear arms, on high alert, citing aggressive statements by NATO leaders and economic sanctions against Moscow. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba earlier in a televised address said Russia's goal is to destroy Ukraine as a state, but Ukraine would not fall. Belarus is holding a referendum to adopt a new constitution that would ditch its non-nuclear status at a time where the country has become a launchpad for Russian troops invading Ukraine. The vote on Sunday is almost certain to pass under the tightly controlled rule of President Alexander Lukashenko, bringing nuclear weapons back on Belarusian soil. Lukashenko has fallen behind Russian President Vladimir Putin's military assault on Ukraine after earlier playing an intermediary role between the two neighbors. Putin on Sunday ordered Russian nuclear deterrent forces put on high alert in a dramatic escalation of tensions with the West. Speaking at a polling station, Lukashenko said that he could ask Russia to return nuclear weapons to Belarus. The constitutional referendum shedding Belarus neutral status opens the way for stronger military cooperation with Russia, which deployed forces to Belarusian territory under the pretext of military drills and then sent them rolling into Ukraine as part of the invasion that began on Thursday. The amendment will also cement Lukashenko's 27-year-old grip on power, allowing the president to stay in power until 2035 and giving him lifetime immunity from prosecution once he leaves office. With this, we wrap up News Hour. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Have a good night.